There we go. I think it's working now. Ooh, it peaked a little bit. Anyway, hello, 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 hello. I hope everyone is doing okay. Ah, this time on time. Today we are starting early, than usual. So, I think I have everything right. Yes, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let me just check with the audio really quick. Okay, okay, okay. Let me just let me think. Let me think what we were doing yesterday. I think a very poor job. Yes, a very poor job at gesture. A tremendously poor job. Ugh, horrible. Oh well. Anyway. Anyway. Let me think. Let me think. Hmm. I guess I could try continuing week 3 and 4, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. All right. I'm feeling like doing some thumbnails. And I don't mean like for streams or anything. I don't mean that. I mean just for the next weekly sketch. Let me just get into using the pen again for today. I've kind of been thinking about whether I should do some early morning drawing practice, just something quick I can do on my sketchbook or something. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Not too sure. We'll see. I've been trying to just get outside more often and do some like nature drawing stuff, right? Just trying to see how well I can capture what I can see. I've been mildly successful. Mildly. Not terrible, not great either. Hmm. I'm just doing some random warm up, nothing in particular. Just trying to move my hand here with the pen, you know. Nothing in particular. Just whatever comes to mind. Just letting, you know, my hand run wild, basically. Kind of feeling like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you all did too, but I also watched like yesterday's collab stream with Hollow Stars from Shiori. It was exactly as glorious as glorious as I thought it would be. So yeah, I regret nothing. Although it was pretty damn late for me. So, you know, I got away with it today, but or rather yesterday I got away with it. But I wouldn't want to repeat it. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Okay. So let's see what does my brain have in store for me in terms of ideas for Shiori sketches. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. My mind is completely empty right now. I have mastered the art of Zen or something. It's completely empty right now. Hmm. Nothing comes to mind in particular. I don't know. Hmm. No, nothing actually. Hmm. I've been meaning to do some chibi drawings though, like similar to what Shiori used for her thumbnail. I think Battle as well, right? Yes, I think so. I'm not so sure about Fleon. Didn't watch his stream. Or had it open in another tab, rather. Might be the case that they all use the same artists, like drawings for the thumbnail. Hydration check. Anyway. Nothing comes to mind, really. Nothing really comes to mind. My Shiorium batteries are reloaded, you know, they're like, there's nothing that comes to mind that I would like currently for a Shiori to do, you know? Yesterday was just that funny. I don't know, maybe it's just a Monday. Maybe it's just a Monday. Yeah, I don't know. Not feeling anything in particular. Hmm. Terrible. Anything at all? No, not really. All right, let me just have a look at Pinterest. See if I can find something that I would like to draw, or something that could give me an idea. Ouch. I'm kind of feeling like, actually, kind of feeling like drawing sword, European style sword, rather German. Maybe I'll do that, huh? But what do we have this sword do? Damn, that's some interesting paint study. Is it? Or it might be AI modified. Oh. I just want paint. I want to see paint dry. Real paint dry. Kind of reminds me of the DLS5 thing. What is it? Is it anti-aliasing? I'm wondering. DLS5, what is it actually? Actually, let's go away from DLS5. Let's take DLS 4.1. What is it actually? I just know that it's basically a Yeah. Okay, it is anti-aliasing. Oh, it's a multi. Oh, it's like a framework. So wait, there's like anti-aliasing, resolution scaling, lighting detail, reduced memory usage and performance. So like frame. Okay, so it's not just anti-aliasing. MSRAA or MRAA? MRAA. No. What was it? I think the VR game from Valve. Morpho morpho what? Morphological anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing? Into what? Yes. MR MRA? MLAA. Oh. Visual artifacts like jagged edges. I think. What's the game called? Like it's from Half-Life universe. Don't quite remember what the game was called. Alex? Alex, right? Alex. Alex. Why did I go on this tangent again? Ah, right, AI. I remember. I remember. I don't know what Nvidia is doing. Kind of feels like Unity's new monetization scheme incident. You know? Kind of feels like that, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like absolute retardation, basically. Utter and complete bullshit. Anyway, let's not get distracted too much here. Let me have a look at Le Pinterest and see what we can do here. Interesting. It's an interesting way of studying human arms. Is that the Mori Calliope? Damn. That's a nice cosplay. Jesus. Unbelievable. No, excuse me. Nothing really comes to mind. Maybe I should just get started with some gesture and we'll see. We'll see where we go from there. When I created like you know, what do you call it? Scheduled stream thing. When I scheduled the stream, basically. I was feeling like drawing some Shiori today, but apparently I don't have many ideas. I don't have many ideas. That's an interesting painting. I mean, I could. Ouch. I could just do like a close shot of her face. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe drawing her a little bit like Jinx in terms of like atmosphere. Although I guess it does work for Shiori herself as well, because her law is pretty similar, just in terms of like feel and atmosphere and just vibes, I guess you could say. Since she's a criminal, you know, slightly insane. Just ever so slightly. Maybe. Like, I don't know, something like. Hmm. That's too. Wait, that's too far down actually. Maybe more something like. Actually, let me see. Hmm. Am I feeling this? I don't know. Hmm. I could have her like drag like a sledgehammer. Maybe like an absurdly large sledgehammer. Or absurdly long sledgehammer. Something like. Yeah. Maybe a crowbar in the other hand. Hmm. Just looking at us, maybe? I don't know. I'm liking this. I don't know. Let's try another one. Maybe like a sitting pose. Let's say she sits on a sofa that's pretty close to the camera here. Okay. Like just a chair, maybe leather chair or something. Let's say she's sitting right here. Which leg would she throw over the other? Kind of thinking maybe the right leg over the left leg. So left leg. And then slightly angle it. Wait. That's Terrible. Hmm. Doesn't she usually have like plateau shoe things, high heels, or whatever you call them? Like some kind of like elevated shoe thingy. Terrible. This looks so dog shit. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's just do this. And maybe like, let's see. A torso slightly leans to the right. The head a bit further back, maybe. Maybe. So she's leaning backwards and to the side slightly, so like into the chair in that direction. Maybe. Let's see, and then leaning on her right hand arm. Something like this. The other probably somewhere just in her what do you call this? Is there like a general term? Bosom, I think. But it's kind of archaic. Is there a different word for bosom? Let me see. Let me see. 'Cause I think it is. I think that's German. The English translation to the German word I'm thinking of. Bosom, bosom, bosom. How do you write that actually? BOSOM? No, okay, no. I don't mean bosom. Then let me just translate the word from German to English and see. Lap. Bosom. Lap. Maybe it's lap. Probably. So I just mean the thigh, general thigh area. Say your cat is sitting in your lap, basically. All right. So that would be like so. Maybe something like this. And then leaning. Maybe some stolen goods. I'll have to go back and watch the stream. So watch the VOD and see what Shiori brought with her. I could do that. I'm kind of invested in the second image already. But let me just try another approach. Let me just sit down for a little bit here. Let me see if there is something else that I can think of her doing. I mean, we could also be a bit more aggressive and remain in this like front-facing view thing. Let me redraw this. This is terrible. Why am I redrawing a perfectly straight line? Alright, so we could do something like... Let's see. We could do something like her breaking through, like the classical Jinx move, right? Although I guess you could also say the classical Shiori move. I don't know. Kind of fits the character. So I guess it can work. Of just, you know, let's say we have a stack then here, lying here, and some broken off pieces. I don't know. We'll see. And then maybe like, maybe she's coming through. So slightly bent. Right arm somewhere here. Right hand, rather. Coming through. Let's see if I can make this one work out. Maybe move everything a bit further to the right. Or left side, rather. Ugh. Just remove this line here. Something like this, maybe? What am I thinking about here? Let me try and visualize that a bit better by acting it out a little bit here. So we can work with this. Let's see. So which leg would you go in with if you're slightly bent to the right here? And why would you be, though? I guess you wouldn't actually bend as much as I'm drawing it here. Because you're trying to stay upright, right? Unless you have to bend, in which case she would probably... Let's see. Probably with the left leg. Go through. Yeah. Kind of seems most stable if you must bend, right? To go through the entrance. I suppose. Let me see, okay. I suppose you would step through with your left leg. Something like this, maybe? What would the other arm be doing? Maybe just hang out to the side, or rather balance the whole pose a little bit. Maybe she's like dragging something with it. With her arm. I think this through maybe more like here. Because it's getting foreshortened a bit, I think. What would you be dragging here? I don't know. I'm kind of liking this, but also not really. So I'm just and only doing like these sketches like based on off of a like general atmosphere, like first glance atmosphere of Shiori that basically everyone can agree on, even if it may not be accurate. As in, that's the feeling you get first time around when you see and hear her talk, you know. That kind of flair is what I'm going for here. So I'm leaning more towards her chaotic side, I guess you could say. So something like do I really want to? No, I kind of don't want to redo this. So what about some extreme perspective? Should I try this? So like something like this. I don't know. And we have like the street going on through here, right? Does New York have like 4 lanes? Wait, don't they have up to 6 on some very busy streets? Well, let's say this is downtown New York, somewhere, maybe Manhattan. I don't know, I'm just saying random words that I remember. Not quite sure. Anyway, let's just something like this, right? Okay, like something like that. Maybe she's throwing someone. Maybe she's throwing someone off a building or something. Maybe she's throwing Flayon off a building. Or Berto. I guess Battle not really so much. She doesn't. I kind of feel like she doesn't like Battle too much. You know, enough to banter, but not to be too invested. At least that's the idea I'm getting from her recent stream. More and more, like I've watched a few of them, a few of her collab streams with Flayon, and that's just generally the vibe I'm getting. So I kind of think they are actually not just co-workers. I think they are more like friends, At least that's what the banter feels like sometimes. You know, maybe I'm just, reading too much into it, but that's just how the whole yes. How the whole relationship feels like. Okay, let's see. Something like this, maybe? I kind of invested in image 2 and image 4. Kind of interested in 2 and 4. Two would certainly be the easier choice, I think, because there isn't too much going on. Or maybe that's actually not true. Because 1 point perspective isn't exactly difficult, I would say. Which is basically what this is, no? Right? Is this 1 point perspective? Like image 4? Image 2 certainly is. Image 3 also. Image 1 could be more than one perspective, depending on, environmental factors and such and so on. I think number 4 is also 1 point perspective, right? Yes, I think so. Kind of invested in 2 and 4. Although in image 4 that would be more like a collab thing. Or rather, it would not just only be Shiori, and you wouldn't really see her anyway. Because I'm thinking of like drawing it in such a way that the person falling is someone else, or being thrown off is someone else. And Shiori would basically be holding them. No? Something like so, maybe. Maybe with both hands, I don't know. And you'd just have the two of them wrestle a bit here, maybe. Maybe something like this. You know? Maybe like evil Shiori throwing someone away. Who would it be? Let's say this is upside down Shiori, right? Or Shadow Realm Shiori, whatever you want to say. Who would she be throwing off? Maybe Bibu? Maybe... I don't know. Maybe a bit cheeky and throw Kizuna away? Like, nah. Hmm. Should I be a bit cheeky? But she probably wouldn't react into it. I don't care really. Just kind of want to draw something that's fun. Nah, I can't do it. I mean, it's like an open secret anyway. Could be cheeky and draw Malice being thrown off a building by Shiori. Although it doesn't quite work out since they weren't chronologically correct. Hmm. 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 Let's first decide. Let's first decide what we are going to draw. Hmm. Let me just take a little break, get some more water, and maybe I'll have a new perspective. Just not focusing too much on what to do. That actually helps. You should definitely try it when you're thumbnailing or just drawing in general. Just stepping away a little bit. All right. I'll see that I'll be done in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something. Maybe have an idle meeting. Okay. I'll be right back. I excuse the delay. Anyway, I'm back. I've returned successfully, though a bit later than I wanted to. Alright. Yeah, I'm still liking 2 and 4 the most. Slightly leaning towards 2, but I think that's more because of, not wanting to take a risk. So we are going to use 4. We're going to go with 4. And let's see. I should probably do that in portrait, though. Is there a way to rotate canvas? Let me see. Hmm. The question now is though. Yeah, it's more like this, right? It's more like. Hmm. Would that work? Hmm. 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 I don't know if what I'm wanting to do here is actually possible. Hmm. Hmm. Image, file. Let me just save the file here. Okay. And close it. Open it back up again. Okay, so it's back in landscape. Let's see. Um, hmm. Hmm. Is it not possible what I want to do, or am I just stupid? Because if I do this, right, this will be wrong. Yes. Hmm. I wonder if it's possible to export an image like so. Right? Hmm. I don't know, man. Oh well. Let me just sit down a little bit here. It's kind of gotten better, I think, but maybe I'm just imagining things. Okay, never mind. Have to get the. I have like a protective thing on my chair. Protective thing, like just an extra blanket. I think I said this before. And it constantly gets caught in the wheels of the chair. So it kind of sucks. All right, there we go. Okay, bring the table down. Oops. I hope I didn't breathe into the microphone very uncomfortably. So. Don't remember how large this is. Let me just set the horizon line here. I think the horizon line in this image, right, would correspond with the edge of the building that we are looking down from, right? Because it's a straight line. What the hell is this? So let's say right here is where this is. The hell? What do I constantly do here? What is this? The hell? Okay. Hmm. It's not exactly in the middle, is it? Huh? 0 and 3,500. So that's like 1,500, 1,750. So this is where the middle of the image is. I guess. What? Oh, this is a. Oh, okay. All right. Let me just erase everything here, aside from the horizon line, or rather the edge of the building we are standing on or looking down from. All right. All right. All right. What is going on here? Hmm? Oh well. Da-da-da-da-da. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm? What am I doing here? Hmm. Actually, you probably wouldn't see neither the walkway, catwalk. No, not catwalk. Catwalk is something else. Just the yes, exactly. I guess I could bring the horizon line a bit further down here, but mm, let's erase a few things first and see. Okay, so what I would want to erase, obviously, would be these lines here. Maybe not that. Hmm. All right. Something like this, maybe. And then some more to allow these to not stand perfectly next to the walkway thing. Or maybe actually never mind. Hmm. 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 Can't center this line somehow. Maybe I should just use the grid instead of whatever this is, because I don't even know how to get rid of it. Like, what even are you? And how do I get rid of you? Whatever. Let me see. View, show grid. Maybe not this grid. Let's see. Full screen mode, detached canvas, wraparound mode. Show grid. I'm not liking this grid. I don't know. Hmm. It's not perfect at all. This angle is slightly less accurate. Okay. I'm being mugged by tiredness again. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not liking this grid. This is like cancer to my eyes right now. Ugh. Ugh. Disgusting. Ugh. Disgusting. Disgusting. What was it that Kobo said in her, like, was it Shy Lily collab? Wait, was it Shy Lily collab? Ich kann. Ich kann. Harten Burden starten Bart. I think is what she said. And then, yes. I don't know why what I just said reminded me of that, but yes. Somehow it did. Somehow it did. Harden Burden starten Bart. Hindenburgen. Hindenburg. Hindenburgen starten Bart. What do I do with this? Is there just more buildings? I don't know. I don't know yet. Is it clear that this is a like an age where someone is falling down from? Okay, let's see. Let's keep this in mind. Just as a general guide, I suppose. Ah, oh, my leg is hurting. Oh, my head too. Oh, what the hell? Did I just get an aneurysm? I just had an aneurysm from sitting. Unbelievable. I just remain standing, I guess. Why the hurt of the chair? Ouch. Ow. Ah, okay. Anyway, let's think about this. Let's think about this. So, obviously, the main subject would be someone other than Shiori, because they're getting thrown off a building, right? Now the question is, this is pretty aggressive. Not the action itself, just like the composition, right? I guess it makes sense, since the act is also aggressive. Question is if whether or not this actually works out. So maybe we would have to... Yeah, let me do that actually. Let me go back in here. Alright, so let me... Wait, how... How would this actually work out? Wait, wouldn't that just be... Wait. It would be it would be back here, right? Maybe? Oh. Harten, Purten, Starten, Bart. Ouch, my leg. Jesus. Ah. Wait. Let me just use my regular brush. Mine regular brush. Whoops. Terrible drawing skills right there. Can't even draw a straight line between two straight lines. Guys, I think I'm doomed. Doom? Doom? What do you mean, Doom? Kind of funny how that blew up. Literally and figuratively. You know? Though it kind of feels like a bit overused, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I get it. I get it. I'm not too into it, but it's like, you know, back in the day with Chuck Norris memes, right? Or just jokes. I understand the sentiment. Definitely. Wait, this is not in the middle though. Because the middle is somewhere here. Yes. How would this work? Like, I want to have a railing here. But maybe I'm doing too much at that point. I don't know. How would you draw a railing in this scenario? Would you even draw a railing? How can one? Will you draw railing? Have you ever drawn railing? When will you draw railing? Hmm. Kinda, Kinda, Hmm. Thinking about this. Thinking about it. Not much comes to mind. Ouch. Back hurt. Ah, how would I draw a railing? Wait, I'd first have to determine how far away we are from the floor, no? Well, I mean, not really. Because it's just gonna be more like approximate estimation. Since I don't think there is a formula to calculating foreshortening. Maybe there is. I don't think there is. How to do this? How to approach it? I don't know. Maybe I should do away with the idea of a railing here. Maybe there isn't a railing. There is no railing in Ba Sing Se. Kind of deal, you know? There are no railings in Ba Sing Se. Ow. I have leg pain. That's insane. All right. Whatever. Let's not waste our time too much on this. Let's just move along. Okay. So who would be the one getting thrown off? And why? Is it Shiori? Is it not? Would they look straight at us? Would they look kind of like down? Or trying to look down towards where they are soon to be falling? I guess in panic mode you would not try to look down. You would be more like, what the fuck is happening? Stop it. Don't throw me off, please. Then you're thrown off and dead. Sucks. Not too sure about it, guys. Not too sure about it. We need to think. I need to think about this scene a bit more. So, let's say it's Shiori throwing someone off a building. Why would Shiori throw someone off a building? Maybe a mysterious evil. Maybe it's upside down Shiori killing her closest friend. Maybe. What else could be the case? Maybe she isn't actually throwing anyone off a building to kill them. Maybe there is a portal to different dimension they need to travel through to save the world. I don't know. I mean, just a little bit of brainstorming here. I don't know. Maybe we do some upside down Shiori, but I don't know. I mean, given the recent influx or just the general influx of people, I kind of feel like Shiori's being understood to be someone she isn't really, just at first glance, right? And some of the more unhinged, I wouldn't even say unhinged, just her particular way of thought, I suppose, kind of seems alien, I guess you could say, to regular people. and that gives them the wrong impression. Maybe we should do some, I don't know. Maybe we should go with a different vibe altogether. Go back to thumbnailing. I don't know. I mean, kind of lazy. I'm kind of lazy. I just want to do drawing. Let me think about this for a little bit. I just have to go to an idle meeting really quickly. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Let me just write it on the screen here. Just, I don't know. Burp. I'll be right back. I have returned. Let me just quickly destroy the last piece of pizza here. Oh, almost forgot to unmute myself. All right. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Shui, shui, shui. For a while, I used to do the like this kind of face constructing thing, although not with this paw of a circle or bean or whatever. That what's his name? I think I mentioned him before. Sorry, Akihito Yoshitomi. Right, Akihito Yoshitomi. Yoshitomi. He also constructs his faces like so, or rather, that's why I have this construction method from. Hmm. Hmm. What? How would you? Let me see. Let me look at Pinterest. I should do like an expression study. Yes, but first let me, before I get go on a tangent again and distract myself from what's important, let me just try and construct the general pose here. Somewhat. Let me. Actually, let's not press in too hard here. Okay. What am I doing with these two things here? Let me. Hmm. Hmm. Why am I constructing this so weirdly? Kind of looks like absolute death machine. What is this unit? Terrible. This looks so bad. Okay, I'm fucking around, sorry. Who do I want to put down here, actually? Like, do I want to give this like a... Do I want to do it in like a comic strip way? Maybe like a speech bubble of sorts. If I could draw a speech bubble. Jesus Christ. Holy Lord. I don't know. I'm getting distracted again. My leg is hurting. I think I said that like 50,000 times already. Oops. Hmm. How would I want to do this pose? Maybe like this? Or like this is a leg, right? A foot supporting somewhat the person here. Barely holding on. Very barely. Very, very barely. I feel like it's a bit too small. Yeah. Bit too small. So let's just fix that really quick. Maybe a bit further back. Slightly. Ever so. Alright. Let's see, let's go into the foreground now and do this. So now we would have how does this look? Wait, let me see. How do my hands look when I'm, let's say, trying to hold someone at the neck? Okay. Pinky is basically always very much concealed, not completely, but I might want to keep this in mind. Hands are larger than you would expect. Okay. Maybe that's a bit too large. It still has to somewhat fit the proportions, no? Of the person being held. Otherwise, you might as well be like, yes, Hulk is trying to throw you off a building. Right. Yeah, I have to make the person larger still. I think. Unless we pick a small person to be thrown off the building. You know? Because if this are the hands, right? Just get rid of this. I bet. Yeah. Let's grab. Or wait, this is a bit. No, wait, this is. No. Hold up. Maybe this is just the elbow. How does it look? Okay, that's actually not too bad. The right arm isn't amazing. And the bend is a bit too far to the right side here. To the inside of the arm, basically. What we want is... Whoops. Something like... No. Whoops. Something like this. Maybe give it a bit more volume. The arms, I mean. Also, this is a bit too much bent, I think. Hmm. Maybe like this, huh? Where would the arms bend? Actually, the elbows are a lot further up. Yep. Okay. Let's try and rectify this. Because, like, in comparison, otherwise, Shiori would be absolutely insanely tall. You know? So, let me see. Let me see. Let me get rid of this line and this line. Alright. Let me get rid of the bend in here. Something like this here, maybe. I would say the bend is a bit further back. Like it's slightly angled. Like so, maybe. Whoops. There. Let's just make sure that both arms are roughly the same length. Okay. But then, after this, how does this look? There's not much to see here. Because most of the hand is now behind the... It's not the ankle, but what would you call this? The wrist, right? Most of the hand is behind the wrist, or more like the... I don't know how to explain it. Why? Mhm. What am I doing? Why can't I recreate this all of a sudden? Maybe I'm drawing too slow. Kind of feels like that was the case. Kind of. Also not really. Okay, anyway. Alright, something like... Let me see, what would it look like if I were to grab this? Okay. So I need the thumb in front. The rest I can basically forget. I can do a little bit of trickery. So the thumb would jut out like so, right? And it would do similar thing on the other hand. What the hell? Why can't I redraw? Whatever. Okay, so this is the thumb. The other one disappears below here. All right, and then we have some of the hand up here, going around the neck. And then we have to move the entire... What, do I have to move the arms or do I have to move the image below? Since I would have to move the image below, I think, yes? Let me just see. This works. Kinda does. Okay. It's a bit, how should I say, messy right now. But this is basically the pose. Yes? Why this took me so long, I don't know, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. We get faster in due time, I think. I just drink something. Didn't drink any tea today. Maybe I'll make a tea later. Let me just check, because I think Shiori said something about doing a stream today of perhaps the last stream for residential evils. The evil of residentialism. Is that a word? Probably. Given nowadays how everything is kind of political statement. Okay, yes, so it's in 32 minutes. Wait, in 32 minutes? Huh. Okay. Okay. Ouch. My leg hurt. My leg hurt. Okay. Alright. So. How this be looking? I guess that works out. Also, although not really. Kind of. Let me grab this like cup. Tea cup. I mean, actually, it kind of makes sense, but the bend is the other way. So, what I mean by what I just said is this. At this bend here, where does this line come from? Fuck off, line. I don't want you here. Go away. So this line here was a bit wrong. So it's more bent like this, I guess you could say. Let me try again. Yes. So both wrists look inward, like so, right? So the bend here would be kind of like that. Let's just try and keep that in mind as best as we can. Maybe like so, and like so. This actually makes sense. Doesn't look completely wrong, at least. Let's just say that. It doesn't look so horrendously wrong that I need to bury myself alive. You know? Still not perfect, but that's okay. We're learning. We're learning. So, okay. I get rid of this. That hand would be a bit too thick otherwise. Let's bend this inward. Bring it up a bit further, actually. Since it's bending alongside the wrist, right? Do something like this. This is already looking pretty good. Can't complain too much about it. I just try to look. Ah, oh. Ah. Oh. Okay, let's see. This would be too much bend, actually. Okay. Let's be a bit less aggressive here. Let's do it like so. Yes. This here as well. Whoops. Eto ne. Eto no eto. No clue. Something like maybe something a bit offset because of the knuckle. This is kind of okay looking. Although the left hand appears a bit larger than the right hand. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Because of the bend. Okay, let me go back in here. Okay. Maybe that's a bit too much, huh? You can really see every single, like, what's it called? Yes, error I'm making when you know, drawing the lines, because I'm not using any stabilization and I'm not used to it yet. Does this work out? Not really, actually, now that I'm looking at it. This does not really work out here. Look at my own hands again. Okay. The most comfortable choking hold, I guess, would be like the left thumb. So, like, how do I visualize this? If this is hand, right, and this is thumb, yes, something like this, maybe. Okay, then the left thumb is most comfortably nestled, I don't know, put in like this groove that just happens naturally when you try to grip something. I guess if you were to grip something thicker, that wouldn't be an issue, but you know, necks aren't usually that thick. At least if we were to assume this is like, say, another woman. So then say something like, terrible. Oh well, anyway, just get rid of this stuff here. Maybe I should have constructed the hands better to just understand where what is going. My back is hurting. Ouch. Ow. Is this even... Let's just get rid of this. I guess it's not as obvious. Hmm. Ow, legs hurting, my back's hurting, everything's hurting. Okay, guys, I'd like to keep going, but my body doesn't want to keep going right now. Probably because of the chair. Anyway, ouch. I suggest you go catch Shiori's stream. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this. Um, I'll try. We'll see. I'll just save this for now. All right. Sorry for the abrupt end. Once again, hope you're having a lovely and nice and good rest of your day. Morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be. Um, yeah, I don't know. Is there like a lesson, anything to be summarized for today? Mm, don't be scared to use guidelines. Um, Even if that means, not drawing every single straight line, that's fine. Don't have to. Use rulers if you must. If it's easier, that's perfectly fine. You have to limit the knowledge that you're trying to learn it effectively. So if that means that you aren't drawing, say, every perspective line, every single vanishing point by hand necessarily, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Cater your learning experience to where you notice yourself actually improving. And I guess that you will only notice that if you take the time to review what you've done over the past week or so, which I'm, by the way, going to start doing the day after tomorrow, right? So, like 21st, 28th. Okay, yeah, 21st was 3 weeks. Not the 21st of March, but 21st day of this entire journey thing here. Drawing day 21, right? So then 7 days later, 28th. So tomorrow is the last day of week 4. The day after, I'll do a week in review, and we'll see if there's anything we can learn. Take notes. I'll probably also take them physically on like a piece of paper, just for my own sake, so I can have it without having to go into the program, right? So I can just carry it around, think about it, look at it, maybe add something over time, you know? We'll see. All right. I have to do something about my leg, it's hurting. And I have to do something about my back. Anyway. I think I said it already, but anyway. Anyway. 5 more times, please. Anyway. Have a nice day. A lovely day. A beautiful and happy day. With just enough strife to keep you interested. I don't know. I'll see you next time. And take care.